Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, wanted to make a video about Anthony Joshua because apparently, according to many people across the YouTube boxing community, this is my favorite fighter, which I don't know where you get that from. I mean, I do like the guy, I'm a fan, but I'm a fan of a lot of fighters because I'm a fan of boxing. So, it is what it is. But let's talk about Anthony Joshua because apparently you guys like when I talk about Anthony Joshua. Now, it was reported on BoxingScene.com. Shout out to the fine folks at BoxingScene.com. I'll leave the link for you guys in the description. But it was reported by BoxingScene.com that Anthony Joshua has been approached to stage one of his next title defenses in the Congo. Yes, the Republic of Congo, which is part of the great nation of Africa, the great continent Africa. Interesting stuff. I mean, I thought it was interesting at least. So obviously, if he were to go to Africa, first of all, he's got Nigerian parents, so Anthony Joshua has already expressed in the past that he would love to go fight in Africa. So this is something to be expected and always be at the back of Eddie Hearn's mind and Anthony Joshua's mind, and it should be at the back of the minds of Anthony Joshua's fans because he's gonna want to fight there at some point. And I think it'd be great for the sport of boxing because that term world champion is thrown around so loosely. And half these fighters don't even fight around the world. Like 90% of these fighters don't even fight around the world. It's very few fighters that are actually truly world champions. Like your Manny Pacquiao, who's fought in different countries. Now you got Anthony Joshua trying to do the same thing. So let's get into the article. Boxing.com. The title of the article is Anthony Joshua Approach to Stage Defense in the Congo. Here's what Anthony Joshua's manager, Freddie Cunningham, told Sky Sports in regards to this. He said, I quote, Eddie Hearn is exploring an option in the Congo. There has been an approach. So there it is. He then went on by saying, for the next fight, Africa is not the right time, but at some point he 100% wants to do it. It went so well in Saudi Arabia that they will want to be kept in the loop, and there's always options in the UK. Tottenham Stadium is great and local to where AJ grew up. And he then went on by saying, and this is Eddie Hearn now. Eddie Hearn says there are a lot of options internationally, but he does want to box back in the UK. Tottenham will be keen to do it, and it would be a nice stadium to do it in London. So there you have it. That's Anthony Joshua's plan right now. So I wouldn't expect Anthony Joshua to fight in Africa next, okay? Because he didn't fight in the UK all this year. So I would anticipate that his next fight will probably be against Kubrat Pulev at the Tottenham Stadium because let's just be honest. First of all, he's the world champion again, so he's going to want to give the local fight fans here in the UK, a good event. And he's never fought at the Tottenham Stadium. The Tottenham Stadium is new. It is it's an exceptionally nice stadium, a world-class facility. So it would be nice to stage a fight there, and it's in London, so just logistically it makes sense. It's in the UK, it's a new venue. He's never fought there, so why would Anthony Joshua take this time for his first world title defense and his second title reign to fight in a venue he's never fought at in the UK? This is the cash cow of British boxing, so why not fight in one of the very few big venues that he hasn't fought at in the UK? So it makes too much sense. So I would anticipate that there. And then obviously I think, he has to come back to America at some point. Whether it's in New York, it would be nice. Truthfully speaking, listen, I'm going to lobby. I know this is a bit off topic and off tangent, but I want to just lobby for something right now. I want to lobby for this. So I don't know who watched these videos because sometimes these promoters watch these videos. But listen, Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, whoever, Anthony Joshua's team, if you watch this video, if you guys do come to the States, forget about New York, forget about LA, forget about Chicago. Listen, you guys need to come to Miami. Come to Miami. Fight at Marlins Park, sell out our amazing world-class baseball stadium. Talk to the owner, Derek Jeter, because he was trying to get Mikey Garcia to fight at Marlins Park, and they had discussions about that. So I'm just saying, there have been talks about potentially bringing big boxing to Marlins Park. Why not bring the biggest star in heavyweight boxing and one of the biggest stars in world boxing to Marlins Park to fight in Miami? And then that's another way Anthony Joshua can kind of follow in the footsteps of Muhammad Ali because, listen, South Florida is has a great boxing scene, rich boxing tradition. It's a great fight town, and it's a great event town. Miami loves great events, and how great would it be if one of the biggest stars in world boxing came to Miami and boxed at one of the most iconic world-class venues in Miami, which is Marlins Park. So listen, hey, I think Anthony Joshua could sell it out. I think it'd be something different. it'd be something magical, and it'd be something special. So I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. Listen, I know you got your little show going on at that new resort somewhere deep in Miami, Eddie, for the Demetrius Andrade card. So you already got your foot in the Miami boxing market. But if you really want to make a splash, I would talk to Derek Jeter and the fine folks down at Marlins Baseball Club and try to get Anthony Joshua to come to Marlins Park straight up. And maybe that's a video I might need to do later on, why Anthony Joshua should come fight at Marlins Park. But yeah, I anticipate that he'll be back in America. He'll knock the UK fight out first, and then I would say probably, you know, after, whenever he fights in Africa, I would anticipate that it'll be like a kind of like a voluntary fight. I don't think it'll be a big fight, but you never know. You can't rule anything out, because listen, nobody could have predicted Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz happening in Saudi Arabia of all places, and they went ahead and they built an all-purpose stadium just for the fight. So that's also going to be an option. So you got the UK first. I think that'll be priority, because a lot of the Brits were upset, and a lot of boxing fans were upset that this fight wasn't in the UK, because, you know, it was what it was. So the UK first. Then after that, I really believe he's gonna have to come back to America, because the fact of the matter is he's never won a fight in America, and he still has some profile building to do here in America. And I don't know. It could probably be after. You know what? Like, honestly, like, and forgive me if I'm all over the place. Like, forgive me, because I'm kind of like, I'm reading this and I'm kind of ironing out the ideas and what I think about all this as I'm going along. But like, maybe one of his next big fights is in Africa. Maybe he goes the Muhammad Ali route, and maybe he fights Deontay Wilder in Africa. Like, who knows? Maybe Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua could happen in Africa, and maybe that's the way it's destined to be, because, you know, you got Anthony Joshua, who has Nigerian parents, very proud of his Nigerian heritage. Then you got Deontay Wilder, who I know himself has also talked about, you know, his lineage and him being from Africa. So I know Wilder would be keen. If Wilder was going to leave the States, he would have no problem. This is just me. This is my opinion. It's not a fact. This is my opinion. I believe he would have no problem going to Africa. So who's to say that in 2021 or 2020, late 2020, maybe you get Rumble in the Jungle 2020, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. That would be something. I think that would be something special, because I think both fighters would be down to do it. It's a new venue, and a fight like that deserves to be on neutral ground. I don't think that Deontay Wilder should have an advantage or more of an advantage fighting in America. I don't think Anthony Joshua should have more of an advantage fighting in the UK. When this fight happens, I want it to be on somewhat neutral ground, and I want it to be a fight where there is limited to no controversy. So I think Africa might be the place to go. It might be the place to go for Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. So yeah, I'm thinking this Kubrat Pulev fight is probably going to be next at Tottenham Stadium, and then maybe that. But yeah, that's the news. Anthony Joshua looking potentially at fighting in Africa very, very soon. You know, and that's in something that Muhammad Ali did. You know, fighting at, you know, the Rumble in the Jungle against George Foreman. You know, so Eddie Hearn, man, he's slowly but surely making himself the British Don King of boxing. For whether you think that's a good thing or bad thing, you know, depends on you. But in his own way, he's becoming the British Don King, because he's doing what Don King kind of did. He's following in his own way the Don King blueprint, bringing boxing to untapped markets, going to fights that, you know, having looking at having potential big fights and having big fights in venues that are unconventional. He's thinking outside the box, and that's why Eddie Hearn is winning, and that's why a lot of the other promoters are playing catch up with him. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Anthony Joshua looking at one of his upcoming title defenses in the continent of Africa, more specifically the Republic of Congo. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.